Races don't surprise anyone anymore, but you've definitely never seen anything like this. How about a tornado of motorcyclists? The only thing cooler would be a crash like in the movie Taxi. Watch the video to the end, you won't regret it. Today, we're showing you the weirdest motorsport moments ever. But first, fasten your seatbelts and hit the bell. Let's go! Do you think this guy's looking for a parking spot? Nope, it's Citroën driver Chris Meek crashing off the track. Just a few seconds ago, he was in the lead on the last kilometer of a Mexican rally. Chris chaotically passes between the other cars until he finally finds his way back. And you know what? He won the race, 13.8 seconds ahead of his opponent. Driver Dale Earnhardt Jr. got so carried away racing that he accidentally tore off the steering wheel. At 183 kilometers per hour, he kept driving. And then he put the steering wheel back in place as if nothing had happened.
In the car, go back out there.
Holy crap, oh my goodness, I have never seen anything like, oh my gosh.
Okay, a steering wheel is one thing, but what if both front wheels fell off? The driver of Toro Rosso, Sebastian Buemi, just slightly slowed down at a turn when his wheels just came off and rolled along the track next to the car. Good thing it was just a practice session before the Chinese Grand Prix. Randy Mamal didn't have a chance to stay on his bike. But look at what he's doing instead. It looks like he's riding a rodeo bull, not a motorcycle. Not surprisingly, he hasn't had a single major accident in his 13-year motorsport career.
But it wasn't his lap times that made him the star of the show.
But Brad Keselowski decided to make a pit stop during a NASCAR race without slowing down. And here's what happened. One mechanic had to jump on the hood while a wheel rolled straight onto the track, and the other pit stop workers just had to jump out of the way. And then the driver decided to back up, forcing his team to run after him. Combo. Should that wheel be there? The driver of the red car, Lance Stroll, collided with the car of Sebastian Vettel after crossing the finish line. His front wheel flew onto the roof from the impact. After that, the pilot had to hitchhike to get to his own pit box.
After the race has finished, we're on the slowdown lap.
These riders were determined to win the race, but their bikes decided to dance. After the collision, their handlebars got locked together and they started circling around the riders. All attempts to separate the couple failed. The riders had to come to terms with defeat. Racers Martinez and Calvo collided during the Costa Rican Championship. Martinez just decided to change to his opponent's bike. When they came to a stop, he hit his opponent right on the helmet and walked away. Yeah, cool guys don't look back at explosions. But Calvo decided to get revenge. He ran away and that's all? Not surprisingly, they were both disqualified for 2 years. Remember this moment from the movie Taxi? Now we're gonna show you something cooler. Daniel Hunsadella crashed into a wall on the Ghia circuit. 2 racers managed to get past the accident, but the rest... they started crashing into each other. 1, 2, 3, as many as 16 cars in one pile.
That is one of the worst GT accidents I've ever seen here.
Probably the most expensive pileup in the history of racing.
Right at the front of here is the 911, and you can see his frustration.
Only 4 cars survived in this race, so the race was stopped.
As to whether... oh, no! Oh! Millions millions of dollars of damage.
And again, Timo Schneider is having problems. His hood flips up in the middle of a race. The incident happened on the second lap of the race, but Timo almost drove the entire track blind and even got second place.
Anyway, he's up the inside of Sandell. Oh, Schneider nearly takes it. Sandell gets the win. Timo Schneider P2, yes.
French racer Sebastien Ogier was racing to the finish line when suddenly, what are those, cows? They were very lucky because Ogier reacted just in time and didn't hurt them at all. But this cow was still upset. Racers often fall off their motorcycles, but have you seen motorcycles fall on their own during a race? Watch, the bikes are falling on their sides and sliding on the asphalt. It turned out that on this section of the route there was an engine oil leak. Because of this, 13 motorcyclists lost control. Fortunately, no one was seriously injured. Nigel Mansell was the leader of the 1991 Portuguese Grand Prix. He pulled into a pit stop to change tires, then he took off and lost a wheel. It knocked down the pit stop like bowling pins. The driver's almost crying with rage and hopes to catch up with his competitors after the repair. But he doesn't know yet that he'll be disqualified for changing a wheel outside the pit stop zone. And it's all because of a mechanic's mistake. Racers Martini and Fittipaldi are almost to the finish line, but a crash causes Fittipaldi's car to flip in the air. After the flip, the racer reached the finish line on 3 wheels. Look, his car is shaking its fist at Martini, but they're still teammates. Do you think this guy parked perfectly? This is what I call perfect parking. Due to a collision with a competitor, Jules Gounon's car ended up right on the roof of Geoffrey Denarda's car. The racer didn't sustain any injuries and quickly fled from the scene of the accident. This is the most memorable moment in the Porsche Carrera Cup.
Et ça se touche et l'accrochage. Et une voiture. Incroyable image de Jules Gounon.
Brad Keselowski lost control and his car turned 180 degrees, and he managed to drive right into his pit stop that way. Now that's lucky. The mechanics just had to do their job. The lucky driver placed 13th at the finish line.
Oh, nobody hit him.
I think he just wheel hopped, put him right in the box. How amazing is that?
All the participants of the Camping World Truck Series got to experience what driving blind is like. There was a total blackout on the track. The race had to be finished ahead of schedule, but Eric Jones still managed to break into the lead.
Eric Jones leading. What could possibly go wrong?
Ghost Rider burst into this race. No, not this one. This rider's bike seemed to be driven by a ghost, and it tried to escape from the track workers. Do you have any explanation for this? Write in the comments. This pigeon landed on the track right in front of a car, and wow, did you know that pigeons could do backflips before watching this video? And this crazy bird decided to fly towards Sebastian Vettel. Incredible, the car wheel didn't even touch it, but it got very close. Like this video and you'll be just as lucky. Who needs a race when you can swim in a pond? Tanakh and his co-driver quickly get out of the car and it sinks under the surface like the Titanic. Someone tell them that they can fit on the roof together. Surprisingly, their Fords were repaired in just 3 hours and the racers continued the race. You have definitely seen a motorcycle pop back on its rear wheel. Now watch a race car do the same. In the 2017 Australian Formula 4 Championship, the track had a high curb welded to the tarmac. It became like a springboard for the cars, and they flew into the air one by one. During the race, the underside of George Russell's car shattered to pieces. It turned out he tore off the manhole cover. The tow truck was supposed to take the car into the pit lane, but it crashed into the bridge. That is what a bad day looks like. Lewis Hamilton could well have won the Canadian Grand Prix if he hadn't been the culprit in a 3-car pileup at a pit stop. He crashed into the car of the driver Raikkonen, and he, thanks to inertia, hit the nearest McLaren. So the race lost 2 of its leaders, and all over waiting for the light to turn green. Timo Schneider knocked 2 opponents off the track at once. Robert Wickens and Pascal Wehrlein.
It's under investigation. Bump and bump again.
Could have just been a common accident had the Audi leader not given the command "push them out" live. After that, Timo was disqualified and the Audi team was fined 200,000 euros. A torrential downpour turned the 2016 Brazilian Grand Prix circuit into a dangerous skating rink. Max Verstappen's car skidded on the corner. It spun around and was centimeters from the bump stop, but he taxied without even slowing down. Here he is, the king of wet roads. Well, it's time to end. What moment surprised you the most? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.